Hello everybody, it's Loretta with Custom Creations by Lo. Tonight I am going to make a nightlight. I know that you probably have seen several different channels do one. So I wanted to do one because I'm making it for my neighbor who loves fairies. And so I will let you know that if you don't wear gloves when doing UV resin, you really should. I actually did not for the first year I've been doing resin, and I've been doing it for 2 years, and I was fine. And then one night I woke up and my hand, this hand, was hurting so bad. It was itching, it was swollen, it was red, and I was like, what in the world? And then next thing I know, I had like blisters and things forming on my hands and on my fingers. It went down like a couple layers deep. They looked horrible. They felt horrible. And I figured out that the only thing that I had really been in contact with, or hadn't eaten anything different, hadn't done any chemicals or anything like that. So I come to the conclusion that it was the UV resin. Michelle on Glitz and Glitter by Michelle had a similar reaction, and if it wasn't for that video, then I would not have put 2 and 2 together. I have since found, since I've started wearing gloves, that I actually have to wear 2 pairs because apparently I am super sensitive to it. So that's why you'll see me put on 2 pairs of gloves because I don't want to take a chance on me having the same reaction because it was horrible. It was painful. I had also had recently had neck surgery, and put that on top of having my hand that I couldn't use pretty much was very unpleasant, very painful. So yes, so I'm going to put on 2 pairs of gloves, and then we will see if we can get started on this. Now, I will tell you that I'm not an expert. I just like to create things on a whim sometimes. But I did get these stickers that I'm going to show you in a few minutes from Temu. And like I said, my neighbor, she's 70-some years old. We've been friends for over 25 years because that's how long we've lived here. And she loves fairies. And while I was recovering from my neck surgery, she bought me a little solar lighting outside of hummingbirds because I love hummingbirds. So I decided that, you know, to pay her back, you know, for her kindness, that I would do this light. So I did get these lights off Amazon. I will try to find the links to everything that I used today and put it in the description below. And if you ever have any questions, comments, suggestions, want to place a custom order, then feel free to email me. I'll also have that on the links below. And let's get started. So, as you can see, this is just a little nightlight. I'm actually going to set it here because it sets perfectly on my J. Diction leveling table. And it hangs off, so I'm good. And I've got my UV light over here ready. You may or may not be able to see that. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. This is my UV light. It's an off-brand. I don't have any sponsors, maybe down the road. So I'm using what I have. And this one is actually, I got it off Amazon. It's very reasonably priced. It works really well. It is a dual-sided, like it's resin and their lamp. And, you know, you can use either just the top or the bottom or both, whatever. So the stickers I got from Temu, there was 12 of them. So I'm just going to run through them real quick. This first one I'm going to show you is probably the one that I'm going to do this nightlight with. So we have this one. This one. Oops, can you see that? There we go. I love this one. It's purple. So anybody that loves purple may be interested in that one. And this one is like a rose with the back of the fairy, and the rose is being her dress. We have this one here with the little sunflowers. Another purple one that's like wings in her dress. And then we have this one. This is really pretty. A one like that. This one. Down there. This one. And last but definitely not least, this one, which is really, really pretty. But like I said, I've decided that I'm going to use this very first one with the pink tulips, or the pink, yellow, and white tulips. So I'm going to be using this one and hope it'll go well. If not, well, we'll find out because I've not used these stickers before. Let me put these other ones up here so they're not in the way. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I actually have 4 different glitters here. Again, these I ordered off of Amazon. And these are all extra fine glitters. There's iris pink. There is light pink. One of my favorites, fuchsia. And hot pink. I've decided for this one today, after putting them up to the sticker, which one I wanted to use, and I've decided that I'm going to use the iris pink because I think that will look really good together. Now the thing about these lights, they are so easy to do. They're very simple. It doesn't take a lot of resin to do them, and you can embellish them however you want to. I will probably end up doing maybe some rhinestones or something around hers once it's cured. I may or may not do that on camera, but if I don't, then I will definitely post it in the video, and that way you can see the finished result. So let's get this one open because I have not used any of these. This way everything will be open. That is so pretty. Look at that. Like I said, and it's extra fine. Put the lid back on, and so it has a side which you can spoon, and then also the little sprinkle side. And these weren't very much. I think they were like $6 for the set of 4. It may have been a little more, may have been a little less, but irregardless, that is again off Amazon. I'll get out of here what we're not going to use. I am using J. Dixon UV resin for this project, and we'll be putting a little bit in the cup. And this is the hard type, hard clear type, and I really do like their UV resin. I've used some other ones too, some of their high viscosity and they're lower, and then this one's pretty much the average one. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a little bit of this into my little cup here, just enough that we'll use for using on the light. And before I actually do that, I am going to take some alcohol, 91% isopropyl alcohol, and clean it just so we don't have any contaminants. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this bottom lip down here so resin doesn't get into it. Probably around the back. Well, really don't need to do the back side. So just do the front side, a little bit of painter's tape, and you'll be good to go. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. It is very hot here in North Carolina where I live at. I did get in the pool, get some vitamin C and D and all that. So that was a lot a relaxing time, which I always enjoy getting into the pool. I'm blessed that we have one. you know, I know others may not have access, but any of my friends that you know, that live close and want to come over and join me, I usually tell them, go ahead, you know, just let me know you're coming and I'll meet you out there, kind of thing. All right, so we've got this taped up. You can see it's nothing fancy or anything, just taping a little bit of lid up so that we don't get no resin down into that. Set it back here and get our glitter in here. Oh, where's my stick? There it is. Now, I was told, and I think this would apply with UV resin as well as regular epoxy, that you should use a stick that is already been cured with resin from prior use. That way you don't get additional air bubbles into your resin. That, you know, it's sealed so it doesn't create anymore, which I didn't know that until I happened to see it on the video. And I'm just going to dump some in here. With that, it's going to be so pretty. All right, let's see how that looks. Can y'all see that in there? I'm going to stir it fast or anything. Just going to slowly stir it just to make sure it's all good and mixed. You know, glitter's in there, but can you see that? Look at that, how pretty that is. And hopefully that will be enough to do this top cover on this light. Now, real quick, like before I actually put this on there, I do want to get, there we go, a little something for the mold to sit on as it's cured in the UV light. And hopefully this, let's see. Yeah, that will work just fine. We'll leave that there and put this here. That is going to be so pretty. I hope this works out. And then I'm just going to take my stick and kind of move it to the edge. And I am not an expert yet, I hope to be, in top coating things. I want to be as good as all these seasoned folks that, you know, that can top coat in a second. I myself am still learning it. I am getting better, I think. It's getting easier, which is always good. And the one thing that I also have learned is that if you're putting your resin on like this and it starts pulling away from the sides or someplace, that means you do not have enough resin on there. So just add a little bit more and you should be fine. So where does everybody live? Like I said, I'm in North Carolina. I was not born here, but I've been here long enough that I guess they would call me a, I don't know, I can't even think of the word. But I was not born here. I was actually born in Florida. And I've lived in many different states. And unfortunately, my siblings live out of state. And two of my children live out of state. And one of them was only about two and a half hours away, depending upon the traffic that day. So, you know, it takes about 5.5 hours to get to my oldest daughter, and about 2.5 hours for my son, who is in South Carolina. Now, I am a retiree, thankfully. I served in the United States Marine Corps. So I am a veteran, and I love all our veterans. And I like to do things that will benefit them. You know, if there's something that I can do somehow, like volunteer or whatever, which, by the way, you don't have to be a veteran to go volunteer at a VA hospital or anything. They always are happy to get help. So, yeah, if you know, got some time on your hands and you want to go do something for somebody else, that is a great cause. You know, All right, so that looks pretty good. I didn't go over the edge. Woohoo! So I am improving my skills. So now I'm going to take this over here to the light. Set it up like that. I'm going to put it on for 3 minutes, and then I may end up doing a second 3 minutes. That's my prop right there. We go. That's the way it's level. And while we're waiting on that to cure, we'll go ahead and try getting our little sticker off. Now, this leftover resin here, I will do something with. I'll make a little extra and stuff. This is one of my extra jars that I put all my little things that I make and have extra in. There's seashells, hearts, glow-in-the-dark things, which we will use one day for when I make a glow-in-the-dark, like a frog that I had made. But yeah, so that's my little extra jar, and it all sits in there. Put down back in there. We can put, I think, this glitter up. Wipe it off. Don't have it everywhere. And then, again, we'll let that cure. And while we're letting that happen, I'm going to get another piece of painter's tape and see if I can get, well, you know what? I may not need to. Let me see if I can get this back of the sticker off without. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to pull it kind of like that, so when it's ready, I'll have it ready. So again, I appreciate each one of you that have watched the video. I hope that you will like it, subscribe, share it, because the one thing that I've really learned about doing resin in particular is it is a community, and a lot of people are involved in it. A lot of people do resin. Everybody's got some great ideas. And as I said in my first video, I do a bunch of different crafts, so I'm not going to stick to just resin. There will be a lot of resin right now because I'm in the process of reorganizing all my craft supplies, hopefully moving out of my craft room into a she shed down the road here. So trying to, you know, go through things, clean it out, organizing it, and therefore I don't have access to some of my crafting items, such as florals, because they're in a closet that unfortunately I don't have easy access to. All right, so we've got another 1.5 minutes on this one. We'll wait for it. And like I said in the video earlier when we first started, was if I don't finish this on camera, I will definitely finish it after the fact, and then I will make, you know, put pictures up of what it looks like completed. I just want everything to go so well for this, because I really want my neighbor next door to love it. And you know what? I just realized I've got this sitting real close over there to that light, so that's not good. Let me grab one of my little extra molds, and we'll go ahead and pour that in there. We could do this pendant. I think that would be really pretty. And it should be enough to do it. Yeah. We'll put it right in there. And this is a Blue Moon mold. I got it from Michael's. It came with this mold, another mold, and the Blue Moon resin, UV resin, which I am out of that particular resin, but the molds are still great. I put just a wee bit too much in there, so let's take a little bit out. And then we'll get it cleaned up. Yep, that's good. Okay, let that cure up and wipe our stick off. And I'll get my little tool here, a little silicone tool, kind of clean that up a little bit. That's looking pretty good. All right. So as soon as that's done, which just went off, we'll get it checked, and then we will stick this in while we are waiting. Yep, that's good. Let's go ahead and pop that in there. Set the timer on it. Now, that's what it looks like all cured, so I think that's going to be really pretty. And let's see, hope this right here, you can see they're a little bit leaked, but that's why we put that tape on there. All right, so now we're going to try to get the sticker centered on the lamp. And let's see here. You know what, before I take that off, let me just see. Oh, that's going to be perfect. All right. Now, these are not DTF stickers, so I don't know how they're going to do. But, again, all we can do is try them. And if they work, stupendous. If they don't, well, then it'll be counted as an experiment. So that looks pretty good. Pretty level. You look at it this way. What do you think? Go ahead and mash that down. Okay, so that's her on there. Now, to top coat her, we're actually going to use just a shimmery sparkle. I don't want to put more pink over her. I want her to stay clear. So I'm getting another cup and another thing of, this is Recollections Extra Fine Glitter. I bought this at Michael's, and so you can easily find that there. I'm just going to put a teeny tiny bit. We'll put the resin in here. I think hopefully that should be enough. A little more. Okay. So go in the trash. Okay. And then we're just going to take our stick and get a little bit out. I don't want a whole bunch. I just want a little bitty. About that much. It's just not even really coated. Again, I don't want a whole bunch. Just want just a little bit of shimmer in there. Might need a little more UV resin. If you can see that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, we can always add some more. All right. Stir that up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect amount of glitter. It's just going to coat it over top. Do have them bubbled in there. I'm not too happy with that. So let's see if we can maybe get some of those out. Alcohol. Yeah, okay. All right. Just going to kind of drill this. Like I said, I don't know how it will do over this sticker, but hopefully it does well. So far, it doesn't look like it's turning or anything. And yeah, that's giving it just enough sparkle. And remember, if your resin starts pulling away, that means you do not have enough on there, and you will need to add just, you know, enough to get you what you need. And I'm just pulling this out to the edge. And like I said, I am not a pro at top coating by anybody's standards. I consider myself very lucky and fortunate if I do get it to where it's not overrunning. I just hope my neighbor likes this as much as I think she will. Need just a touch more here. A little bit there. Now this time when we cure it, we're going to do 2 3-minute cycles. That's the most that this lamp does at one time, is 3 minutes at a time. Now of course you can do less, but alright, so I think we've got that. And I'm just looking at it, make sure from the side, make sure I've not missed any spots. We're going to need a little bit more in here. It is kind of pulling from the side. And you know, I just dripped some from the side, so I'll wipe that off before I cure it. Like I said, I am not a pro with this. We got that. Okay. I think we're good. So we'll put that in there. Turn it on. And since we have a little bit of this left, you know what? I'm going to mix. That's trash, so we can put it in there. I am going to add just a little bit of paste that I had made. Resin paste. I learned this trick. Uh-oh. It's too late now. I apparently missed some spots, but if I have to, I'll just do another layer on it. But yeah, so I learned this little trick off several, what do you want to call it? Seasoned YouTubers that do resin. And I thought that's a great use of your leftover, you know, resin, because I don't know about you, but when I'm using regular epoxy, and there's a part A and part B, 9 times out of 10, I am going to have a little bit of one or the other left in the bottle. And knowing that you can use that to make a paste with is awesome. Thank you to those that shared that little tip. That was amazing. So this is the color. This is one I had custom mixed, and there was some powder left, some mica powder left. So I just decided to make my own paste, and it is wonderful. So again, thank you for that. Now we're going to take that, and we're just going to put it on one of these other molds. Because if I do have to do another layer on that light, I will just use clear and not any other color. Let's do this pendant right here. I think that'll be just enough. And get around that little, yep. Oh look, we got enough to make a heart. I can use that in my little extra stuff. Now, I'm not going to worry about keeping the loop open. I'm just going to dome it real well, and then that way I can just use it and not try to worry about using it as a pendant or something. So if there are seasoned YouTubers out there that are watching this, I would enjoy hearing some feedback from you as well as other folks. Let me know if I'm, how I'm doing, or if there's something I need to change, something to improve on, then I am all for it. So just put it in the comments, and I will read each and every one and respond. So, just hit me up in that respect, and we will go from there. Let me have a few more paper towels here. Have them at our ready. This can sit over here and cure. And then when the lamp is done, it's got about 80 more seconds. We will do another, well, we'll check it actually, I think, and then I definitely am going to have to put another layer of just clear on this because I can see where I missed. And again, I'm not a pro, I'm not an expert, so I will make mistakes. Let's go ahead and take my scribe and check that, see. We can take that out for right now. Pop those in, reset the timer. Okay. All right. Got a little bit back here. I don't know how that happened, but we'll just peel it off. It'll be fine. Doesn't affect anything. You can't see it. But I don't know if you can see that right there or not. There's just a little bit of that I missed, and then also got a little air pocket from the daggone sticker. But I don't know if I can. Yeah, I should be able. Oh, yeah, it came right out from that sticker. So we'll just put a top coat of just clear on it, and we should be good. Other than that little issue, I'm quite pleased with it. I think she's really pretty. So let's go ahead and do that, and then when these little pendants and extras get done, we will be ready. And let's see, do I have, since I'm not a pro, I'm going to see if I've got some high viscosity over here left that I can use. This, again, this is J Diction, high velocity. Oh, my finger. Goodness. Let's see if we got some in here. That may have been wishful thinking, folks. Over here, out of the lights. Okay, there we go. We might have enough just to put this final coat. And I'm sorry if you can't see it. I'm trying to keep it away from this light over here so it doesn't try to cure on me. Let's do this right here. There we go. And then we're just going to take our little dotting tool, I think, and see if we can get that moved around. Especially get those areas that I missed a while ago. And as you can see, this high velocity is a lot thicker. So that's one reason why it's great for beginner top coaters like myself, because it is thicker and does not run or tend to run like the lower viscosity. We can cover up that bubbles. just gonna run my little dotting tool right down there. Run it to the edges. And while I'm doing this, I do want to say thank you again to Janice for having sent me that wonderful box. It was more than what I expected. I really didn't know what was going to be in it, but man, oh man, it was awesome. I'm not liking this dotting tool for this. Let me get my little stick out here. And for anyone that did not see my first video, it was an unboxing. I decided to do that to kind of introduce myself and my channel. And so if you hadn't watched any other videos or video other than this one, then thank you so much to watch it, because when I tell you, this lady sent me some wonderful things, some incredible molds. And Janice, if you see this, which I'm sure you will, I made the coasters yesterday. A friend of mine came over and we were playing with it, and I was showing her everything, and she's like, well, let's make the coasters. And I said, okay. So we did. So she's like, look, we can make one. I was like, sounds like a plan. And then she liked it so much, she's like, well, can we do another one? I'm like, sure. I think I may be out of this. I have to adjust it with this. And then before I was done, we had a whole set. We did 4 of them. Get down my shirt. All right, we got a little good here. I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but mix the resins like that. But something on my glove. But I had no choice because I do not have any more high velocity UV resin. So we'll just go with this, say our prayers, and said, you know, I'd like it to be perfect. I cannot guarantee that. I'm really pretty daggone sure it's not. So I am this time going to be a little smarter and just take my torch here. Oh, I got the big one because I don't know where the little one is. It says this is working. Woo, it sure did. All right, we just going to torch that a little bit like that. Turn it off. And we'll go in there. There we go. Hopefully that's it. And they can probably go just a little bit more. This can go in the trash because it is officially empty. So I'm not going to make you sit and watch me cure this twice. Once it's cured, one time I'll go ahead and show it to you, and then I'll finish curing it off camera, and I will complete it and do some pictures and send that to you, as well as what I do with these, if they become keychains or pendants, or just extras that I can put into other projects. Close this up. Give me a little alcohol ink in my hand to clean it up. I tell you what I can do while we're waiting on that is I can show you two that I've already made and they are completely finished. So let me get my hands clean and I will do that. Here we go. So this one is the second one. Well, let me do it this way. This one is the very first one I made and I think it turned out pretty. It's some pressed flowers that I had. It turned out really pretty and I put some rhinestones around it, and I had filled it with just a little bit of sparkle in there just to give it that little bit of shine. But I think that turned out really pretty for my very, very first one. And then the second one I did, it was a little different. It's a peacock, and I put just a little bit of pink in there, some little, and that was a sticker. As were the other little embellishments on there. They were just stickers from Temu. And then I top coated it, and I think it turned out really pretty as well. Alright, so this one has another minute on it. And then, like I said, I'll show it to you, and then I'll finish it off camera. Before I forget, please do like, share, subscribe. Hit the notifier button so that when I do another video, you'll get notified on it. And if you have any comments, please post them, or any suggestions, ways that I can improve.